I'm bleeding.
I'm bleeding.
I'm literally bleeding.
How else are you going to say it? Hey humans, I'm Montell, and this is The Dirty Word, where sex and language get it on. Today I am joined by a glorious goddess of a guest, Sara Tan.
Hi guys.
Sara is the West Coast fashion and beauty editor at Bustle, one of my favorite women's publications on the internet, so we're so excited to have you here today.
I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Well, you're here for a particularly special topic. Today we're going to be talking about periods. Actually, I just got my period yesterday. I feel like my body was like,
wow.
We love a theme. Today we're actually going to be playing a little bit of a game that's based on the copious amount of euphemisms that exist in the English language, and I'm sure other languages as well, for your period.
Yes.
I have ambivalent feelings about all of these euphemisms.
Same.
I was actually reading not too long ago this old academic paper from a linguist named Muriel Schultz, who did a lot of work in the 70s about sexist language, and she made the point that something that can contribute to prejudice in a culture or stereotypes is euphemism. How when you speak indirectly or using certain metaphors about a topic, it can create some tension, some shame, some inaccurate ideas around that topic. And female sexuality and reproduction, there are euphemisms all over that subject, but particularly with periods. To reflect that, we're gonna play a little bit of a game today. We each have some notebooks, some pens, and a timer, and we're each going to take 60 seconds to see how many period euphemisms we can come up with. Because you read something about how many exist.
Right, okay, so there was a recent survey that was conducted by the International Women's Health Coalition, I think it was, that said that there are over 5,000 euphemisms or slang terms for the word period. And in like different languages, so like in Chinese and Portuguese, like you name it, there is like a euphemism for it.
I 100% believe it, because there's so much anxiety surrounding periods, and the language that we use to describe them ultimately reflects our attitudes about the thing itself.
Exactly.
We're gonna explore some of those anxieties with this game.
Let's do it.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's get started.
Okay.
Got the timer out. Ready?
Set.
Sorry. Oh my god.
You have so many.
No, I know. Shit.
Thought I was gonna know way more. I'm sure we could think of more creative.
Wow,
How
that
did
was
you think
hard. Okay, do you want to read yours first?
Sure.
Oh, the rag! That's the one I was thinking of. I forgot.
It's the best one. Ew. Like why?
I know.
That's probably like the one I hate the most.
Dude,
So the rag is one of them.
I forgot that.
Crimson Tide or Crimson Wave.
I forgot all of these.
Whichever you prefer, a tide or a wave.
Serving the crimson wave.
Yep. That time of the month, which I think is probably the most common one that people use.
Yeah.
And then, monthly visitor, which is just another way of saying that.
Right.
Also annoying.
Totally. I also had time of the month, or Tom. I've heard it
Tom.
Yeah. The curse.
Oh. That's like,
right?
so intense.
That's really bad.
Yeah.
Menstruation.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
On Insecure on HBO,
Yeah.
amazing series, love it, obsessed with it. A character on the season 2 finale used the red wedding to refer to it.
That's a new one.
New one.
New one.
New pop culture related one. Ladies' Days.
Oh god, yeah.
Aunt Flo.
Oh, Aunt Flo, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
That sounds like something like your grandma would use.
Totally. And then, I don't know if this one counts, but like when women say like, oh, we're all synced up.
Oh.
You know?
Yeah, because
Right.
everyone gets their period around the same time.
Yeah, like when a woman goes, oh my god, we're synced.
Yeah.
Let's maybe dive into some of these.
Okay,
because
let's do it.
There are some problematic words here. You know, first and foremost, a lot of them are not only explicitly girly and feminine, but also explicitly negative.
Yes.
I personally can name off the top of my head like 5 people in my life, cis women and otherwise, trans men, non-binary, assigned female at birth people, who I can guarantee you would not prefer that their period be called ladies' days.
Right.
Because they're not ladies.
Right.
You know, like,
Yeah.
I have several non-binary people in my life who have the junk that fosters menstruation.
Right.
But ladies' days, woman time.
Woman
Your
time.
woman time.
Woman time.
Woman time. They wouldn't identify with those terms because
Right.
they're not on their woman time.
Right.
They're on their like shedding the lining of your uterus time.
Yes.
And also, yeah, the negativity, the curse.
The rag is
on
like,
the rag.
yeah,
That's pretty bad.
It's like really does not paint a pretty picture.
And like, fair enough, periods aren't pretty.
Right.
And I was just telling you before we started how there's this amazing set that a stand-up comedian did, Cameron Esposito. She said the funniest thing. She was like, any dudes out there who think periods are gross, you have no idea how gross periods really are. She was like, I am shedding chunks of blood out of my vagina the size of a strawberry. Okay, but how do you feel about the term period itself?
That's what I call it.
That's what I call it
Yeah,
too.
right?
Yeah.
I mean,
But I will say that I think I was conditioned to even be afraid of that word because I remember the first time I ever heard it. It was in a commercial when I was a little kid, like I was maybe like 7 or 8 years old, and this commercial comes on TV, and I thought it was a commercial for like something involving death or depression. Like there was this woman on screen and the color was very like cool toned and dark, and she was like crying, and the voiceover said like, are you struggling with depression when you're on your period? And I remember being like, oh my god, like what is this horrifying phenomenon? Before I forget, I also want to hear, you were saying how you read a piece talking about some of the euphemisms in other languages.
yes. Can I pull it up?
Yeah, pull it up. I wanna hear about some of them. Because, you know, our euphemisms reflect American culture, and ostensibly another language's euphemisms would reflect theirs.
Yes. So this article was published in The Independent, and it said that there are over 5,000 slang terms for the period, and euphemisms were found in 10 different languages. So there,
and I'm certain that they exist in far more than that. But these are probably just the most famous ones. Oh, these are Code Red.
Code Red.
Code Red. We forgot that one.
The Blob, Shark Week, very interesting. But in Sweden, periods are referred to as
Lingonberry week, because that's their fruit.
Right. Oh my gosh. Germany calls it Strawberry Week. And then Finland calls them Mad Cow Disease. I mean, okay. And then the one that I think is like really weird is China calls it its little sister has come.
That's just like, it's belittling.
I don't like that. Yeah.
And creepy as fuck.
Oh, and then the French has, the English have landed.
As if your period is like your enemy in war.
Yes.
If you had the freedom to come up with a word of your own, do you know what it would be?
I don't know. Talking to my friends, or like even like my husband, obviously he knows, he gets it. I'm like, I'm bleeding.
Right, that's what I say!
I'm bleeding! Like,
that's what I say!
It's like literal, I'm literally bleeding.
Totally! Yeah. That's so funny that you say that because that's what I say. I'll just literally walk in the door and be like, I'm bleeding profusely from my vagina. The opposite of a euphemism. Yeah. My body is expelling like, the lining of my uterus, which by the way are all terms that are less euphemistic and thus more accurate and thus more inclusive. Right. You can have any gender identity in the world, and if you have a period, it will still be true that your uterus is shedding its lining. Right. And there's not all of this like weird, shameful gender stuff. Yeah. It's just like
ant flow.
Ant flow, ew. I would invite you all out there to maybe take some time and come up with, not a euphemism, but maybe like just your own word, like reclaim your period, and in the comments below, leave us what you would like to call yours, at least. Yeah. The people who have the power to name the world have the power to influence reality. So definitely leave your term in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching The Dirty Word, and remember, stay dirty.